Can't believe I'm going to say this, but boy, oh boy, do Raw and did Raw look like it was the best one. It was one of the best Raws, if not the best Raw of the year so far. And wow, I can't believe I'm saying that. And the person with the main titles wasn't even there. But let's get into it because I got a lot of things coming your way. So they start off Monday Night Raw before they could. First of all, we got an intro again we got a brand new Raw intro. They still using the same music, but it's a brand new intro featuring I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was either I might be, because I know it was Charlotte's on SmackDown. So never mind. I think that was Dana Brooke. But yeah, they have a new intro. Then before they could even get underrated talking about what's going to be on tonight, what's going to be happening tonight, we get Seth Rollins and Riddle just brawling everywhere, and which was a nice brawl too, because it was good. It was a nice, good little brawl to kick off the show. Then they waited until after that to do the pyro and welcome everybody to Monday Night Raw officially with the pyro and stuff. Then Trish Stratus would kick off the show re-kick off the show with her promo welcoming everybody and basically saying that she was there in support of both, the fact that they're in the hometown of both her and Edge, and in support of Edge having his first match in Toronto in over a decade. She would get interrupted by Bayley or Control, also with Dakota Kai, and at first pretending to be fans of hers and stuff, until it turned south when they asked her what is she doing here, and she said she was getting ready to get to that before being so rudely interrupted, and but Dakota Kai would interrupt her again, telling her that they don't care what she thinks. Eo says she don't like her, and Bayley says she don't like her either because she's been right. I guess everywhere they went to promote this episode of Monday Night Raw, Trish was there too, and which you already knew from backstage and all the Dave Most and all them. We knew that Trish was going around helping promote this episode of Monday Night Raw. But they looked like they was getting ready to gang up on it until Bianca Belair came out and set Bayley straight about who Trish Stratus is. But told her that Trish Stratus don't even have to defend. I don't need to defend Trish Stratus. She can defend herself. And that she also gave the speech about how there would be no Bayley if it wasn't for Trish or whatnot. Trish told her if she keep running her mouth, she could go from being retired to unretired real quick. But they laughed at her, told her the numbers game still was in their favor. It was 3-2. But this would break out Asuka and Alexa Bliss, who would come instead of even the odds would make it 4-3, and they would Bayley said, you know what, never mind. We see you two at Clash of the Castle. And you see you three at Clash of the Castle, and this would actually transition into the first match of the night, which is Asuka and I was about to say Dakota Kai. Asuka and Alexa Bliss versus Dakota Kai and Eo Skye, and which was a good match. It was a good match, a good way to start off Monday Night Raw. I had a feeling that they was gonna go this route. But the thing that made it good too was that I didn't know whether or not they was going. I wasn't 100% sure. I would say I was 80-20. I was more sure that it was going to be Dakota Kai and Eo Skye, but I was also like, there's a possibility they may push Asuka in them. But though, like I said, it was a good match, good back and forth, good spots, great kickouts. Dakota Kai and Eo Skye get the victory here. The other caveat to this, though, before we move on, is that they also have they had later on they announced that when you see like the little tires for everybody who's in the tournament, the reason why Gigi Dolan and JC or I just call it JC, I can't remember her last name, is not in the tournament anymore because Gigi has got an injury, which has been reported as a concussion. So there will be a last chance tournament on Friday to see who we're going to go up against Raquel and Aaliyah. Though Aaliyah was on Raw, but I didn't realize that I never paid attention to that. The fact that Aaliyah is from Canada, so that's why she was really there on Raw, because they wanted to have most of the people. They wanted to have all the Canadian wrestlers for this episode, so it was kind of cool. They actually tailored to the Canadian crowd, and everybody, including Aaliyah, got a nice reaction. So the second match will end up being Dolph Ziggler versus Finn Balor. And the thing here, I like how they started off, with Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler confronting each other backstage, with Finn Balor telling Dolph Ziggler that he's basically like a has-been, that he can't teach him nothing. And Dolph Ziggler said, you know what? He called Dolph Ziggler like a kid, and he was like, you know what? Ain't we about the same age? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it's one thing I can teach you, and he slapped the piss out of Finn Balor. And then they played his music, he left out. And then as Rhea was tending to Finn, he came back, was like, are you just gonna sit there on your butt or you gonna come out or you gonna get off your butt and come out to the ring? And no, he just said, "Oh, you're gonna come out to the ring." That's what he said. And then Dolph Ziggler did his intro, and then the other thing was that I wasn't expecting was Finn Balor got a new theme. Now, when he came out, they didn't play the usual Judgment Day music. They still had the Judgment Day Titantron, but with the added Prince to it. They added, they put with the wings, and then they got Prince above the wings. But basically, Finn Balor's new music is a remix of his, his original music when he just Finn Balor. But it's like a darker, grittier remix version of it, which I was digging it. I was like, okay. That's cool. That's what. And I forgot Damien. They did the same for Damien Priest, and it made sense because I forgot Rhea and Damien both got remixed versions of their original theme, and now so did Finn Balor. But the match itself was a good match. These two paired up very well. They went back and forth, kicked out each other's moves, but it was a distraction. Albeit not smoothly. Because you could tell he was like, that's the only thing I would say. Like, I wish it would have been a little bit smoother with the fact that, Rhea's interference, because it was like he was getting ready to go for the super kick, but he kept inching over and waiting for Rhea to hit him, and the camera caught that. So it was like, not smooth, guys, but still, Rhea's interference caused Finn Balor to get the victory. Then we got the next match, which was Chad Gable with an open challenge match to any fighter or Canadian wrestler. But when they thought nobody answered the challenge, out comes prize fighter Kevin Owens with a throwback to his original Kevin Owens shirt, and even with a new Titantron. And they had another good match. And this is one of the reasons why this is the best Raw of the year, if not one of the best or the best, because everything was good. But yeah, the match was good. They went back and forth. I mean, German suplexes, reversals, everything in this match was good. And nobody looked weak here. So far, in all the matches that's happened up until this point, which is only 2, nobody looked weak in these matches. And especially here with Chad Gable and Kevin Owens. Dolph Ziggler and Finn Balor, none of them looked weak. But yeah, Kevin Owens would get the victory. Though, like I said, Chad Gable did not look bad in defeat. Then There was a post-match, like they tried to beat him up afterwards. Otis tried to, but Carol Owens would get the upper hand. This would lead into, I forgot earlier too, there was when they were talking to Aaliyah backstage, she would have an interaction with Bayley and them, asking her, they was taunting her, asking her why she was here, and Aaliyah would challenge Bayley with the backing of Trish Stratus. Aaliyah would challenge Bayley to a match, and this would be Bayley's first match since before she got injured, and that would be this match coming up, which is Aaliyah versus Bayley. Aaliyah was very emotional, as you can see. She was very emotional from the reception she was getting from the crowd, and they had a good match. It wasn't only that fact that it was a good match. They made Aaliyah look good in the match too. Even though I knew Bayley was going to win, it's still the fact that she made Aaliyah look good. So I'm like, I like that, and I like the future for Aaliyah. But yeah, Bayley got the victory here. The next match was Ciampa and The Miz versus Bobby Lashley and AJ Styles. Now, the match up until this point, we got more little hints of Dexter Lumis again, more little nuances, backstage stuff that hinted that Dexter Lumis was there, and this time he made his presence felt in the most sensible way. The match itself was good. It went as expected, but you could tell that the real thing they was setting up was for the Dexter Lumis spot, but the match itself was good. The way how the match ended was basically it ended in a DQ, but the way how it gives, I had to give it a break because I don't like DQ finishes, but what they did is the reason why I'm going to give it a pass, is because basically when AJ Styles was getting ready to, the Miz and AJ Styles on the outside, AJ was getting ready to go for an attack. He was on one side of the ring, and the Miz was on the other side by the other, and somebody just grabs AJ Styles, but you see the security guard grab him, and they lift the hood comes up, but it's not Dexter Lumis. And AJ was going to hit the guy, but then he stops himself. As you see, the security got him. He's confused, but then he was getting ready to go. Hit the Miz, but the Miz would get the upper hand for a minute. But the security guard that was behind the Miz on the other side of the where the fans was at gets up, turns around, reveals himself to be Dexter Lumis, and Dexter Lumis would put the Miz, I almost forgot his name. I'm so excited about it. He put the Miz in the chokehold and drug him off, and basically that caused a DQ. So it gave the victory to Ciampa and the Miz, but they would continue to beat up the Ciampa for AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley to stand tall. Now, one of the best things of the night, the next promo, which was a return promo out of nowhere, which was Johnny Gargano. Mr. Johnny Wrestling himself returned and basically cut a promo about why he would return. Having a kid, he felt like that he couldn't leave his WWE career the way it was without having to accomplish all the things he wanted to accomplish. And cue in Austin Theory, who basically come out to welcome Johnny Gargano and tell him, kind of like backhandedly, talk about how all the things he was just talking about he wanted to accomplish, Austin Theory had somewhat, and albeit truthfully, somewhat already done. He already wrestled at WrestleMania. He already became United States champion, and he already the youngest United States champion, and he's the youngest Money in the Bank winner. So it's like, but then he got a little kind of cheeky with Johnny Gargano, telling him that he could be like his bag carrier, carry the briefcase. No, basically, like he could show him, like he said, maybe like I could show you the way. Make a reference to their group, they stable NXT, the way. And He was like, you know what? For old time's sake, let's do our no look high five. He said, you want to do it? Yeah, come on, hit me. And Johnny Gargano was like, okay. He was getting ready to do that no look high five, but then he just super kicks Austin Theory, you know, and Johnny Gargano would leave saying, you know, maybe we don't do it that way anymore. And so from what it looks like, that's going to be Johnny Gargano's first feud on the main roster is Austin Theory. With all that, now we get to the main event. Main event time. Damien Priest versus Edge. And it was a great main event, worthy of the main event build-up. Edge and Damien Priest tore the house down. I have no complaints. Great kickouts, great movesets. Sunset. No, I was about to say Sunset Flip. They said the Canadian Destroyer from Edge. It was beautiful. Edge would get the victory here, but they tried to beat him down post match with the help from Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor, and then right when they was getting ready to deliver Concerto to Edge, before they could the crowd goes crazy because somebody grabs the chair. It is Beth Phoenix, who was at ringside. I should have said that earlier, was at ringside. She jumps the barricade, grabs the chair, and gets in the ring. And she know what? She challenges all three of them to come at her because she was going to swing and hit them with the chair. But Finn Balor's telling them, you know what? We good. Let's leave. And Edge, now recuperated Edge with the help from a chair, stands up or kneels next to his wife as his wife stands with the chair to end the show. So, with that being said, it was, you know what? I have no complaints. None of this was bad. All of this was good. Was it a perfect 10 good? No. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Big ups. This was a great show. Had no problems. The only reason why I said a 9 instead of a 10 was if we would have had like some type of storyline with the Raw champion. But other than that, this was a great show. And yeah, you let me know in the comments down below what you thought though. If you enjoyed this review, you hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed this review so much you want to support the channel, you know what to do, guys. Hit those buttons. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. Don't go anywhere. I got more gameplay for you guys and some reactions. I know game comes today, so be looking out for those reactions because we got 3 of them so far, maybe 4. So peace out.